So here we motherfucking all back again. Oh my God, back at it again. Woo, woo, woo. Random insanity weekend. Begin. Woo.
You know what it is.
Woo. So who do we got today?
So on today's show,
We got Charles E. back from the dead.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all know y'all can't keep me dead, you know.
And we
have a rapper, and we also have a man from a movie.
From the upcoming feature film, Off Course, made, written, directed by moi, produced by Johnny Germs, our special guest. Thanks for coming on the show, bro.
Hell yeah, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Welcome to Random
Insanity!
Oh, what's cool about this is that we spoke about Random Insanity before it was even a... I like the fact that whenever we've worked together, we've conceptualized shit, and then
Yes.
we actually see it come to life. You know what I'm
This
saying?
is very true.
for sure.
This is the
Yes, when we
incarnation
were-
of the conceptualization, you know?
Yes, man. It is a beautiful thing. Should I turn off the AC? Does it matter?
It's cooled off, you know. Cool. I guess you could turn it off
I'll turn it off. I mean, is it affecting the audio?
a little bit.
Okay, fuck it. Hold on.
A little bit.
Shut it off! That AC feels so good. We out here in Texas.
Good God, yo. Goddamn. Don't hit the back of my hoop.
Don't put it so far, it goes, oh.
Yeah, straight up. You cannot play James Brown in front of Charles E.
Yeah, you can, because I'll say, get down on it.
Yeah.
Jump down. Might hit the splits on you. Oh, man, I might not get back
He
up.
might not get back up.
So,
So you were in a movie.
yes, let's start off. Check this out. So, the movie.
Oh no, he's busting out the paper.
So, first interviewee
Just got
for the
real.
new guest, Mr. Johnny Germs here. Can you go ahead and explain to our audience and everybody
How the hell you got that name?
that? Hell yeah, there you go.
Well,
Germs? Really?
Yeah, that was
I mean,
like,
you look
man,
pretty
that's-
clean.
I know how he
man,
got
so.
I know how he got it. But
it's my alter ego. To make a long story short, Johnny Germs was someone I created to do the things that I do because in reality, my real persona doesn't have the ability
It's
to
too
do
clean.
it. Or just too anxious, too
For sure.
weak. So I created Johnny Germs as he's my alter ego, you know?
Nice.
And that's how I do these outlandish, crazy-ass things, you know? That we
Sounds
do.
like T-Bone.
T-Bone, yep. T-Bone in the house.
That was like Charles E. right there, you know.
Yep.
T-Bone in the house. Santa Ana Creations in the studio.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so Germs, though. Where did you specifically get that from?
Well, like I said, if this were like a superhero society, I'd be a villain. So the whole persona that I was coming with was, I guess, he was supposed to be menacing, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Badass. A
So
menace to
that's-
society.
Nice.
Menace to society.
And by the way, he
I
plays
like
a
that.
great villain.
Yeah,
in
he
the
does.
film.
Yeah, I saw that
Yes.
shit.
Yes, he
Badass.
plays Hans.
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 Yeah, you know, so of course, I mean,
Yeah, let's talk about this. How did you and I meet?
okay, wow, man. So this
Let's
is
take it
going
from
back
the
in
top.
time, yeah. So I was a supervisor at a call center, and at this point in time, I was just backing productions on Twitter, backing other people's productions. That's how I was getting involved with film at that point in time. Never had seen a production actually be made, but had helped with the, I guess, revenue, you know, aspect of it. Backing other people's productions in the UK, in Germany, Sweden, on Twitter. And that's how I started getting notoriety, I guess, as, you know, in the entertainment industry, I guess.
Sure, like a line producer.
Yeah, you know, and getting mentions and shit. I would back enough money so that I could get mentioned like at
That's
these
cool,
film
man.
festivals and other countries and shit. Even though I didn't have the money to go to these other countries, you know what I'm saying? But
He'd show me the announcements online. It was like, what?
I mean, it was just cool, you know. And
At least the recognition, man.
yeah, and also like getting to speak to these people who actually were very humble people. You know what I'm saying? Like
For sure.
these, I didn't imagine that I would get responses back from them after I'd backed them, and actually a couple of them, Simon Horrocks and Andrea Hull from Mobile Motion Film Festival. They're still in contact with me on Twitter now, and they're still wanting me to send them
Speaking
a
of
film.
which, yes, and guess how that film is going to get done?
How?
We're talking like a short film and whatnot. It's called the Momo Film Festival, and is this the one in Zurich, Switzerland?
It's in Zurich, Switzerland.
Zurich, Switzerland.
So
He's already been a backer for them. Whatever he sends them, they're going to put it up.
Oh, we need to make it this shit.
yeah, I was a backer for their first
But-
Mobile Motion Film Festival ever.
Tell them
you
about
know?
what Momo means. Momo.
Momo is mobile motion, and basically it's a short film festival, you know, for short films, and they're all filmed on mobile devices.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a specific criteria that you have to follow, you know, that they have. So you go onto momo.com, I guess, and you can see what that criteria is if you're interested in actually submitting a film.
That's pretty cool,
And,
man.
you know, it's international
International
fame,
right
potentially,
there,
you know.
dude.
Badass, dude.
Badass. That's badass.
So that's,
Mr. International. International.
but like
They call
basically,
me an
we were working at
international
the same
player with a
place.
passport.
I'm kind of a big deal. Yeah. My balls are sagging on the ground. Sorry. Please excuse those.
But yeah, I mean, we worked at the same place. I think.
Yes.
I actually met you through Dondi, I believe.
Our homie Dondi.
Yeah.
Slaughterhouse Crew, 781 Slaughterhouse. Shout out Dondi, my boy. He's the one that brought us together. And the funny thing is how we actually had met was he was my supervisor for that day. And since mine wasn't available. And he was like, he just comes up to me and he's like, hey, once you're done with that call, go ahead and log out and see me in my office. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck?
He thought he was in trouble and shit. But really, I was just interested because Dondi told me that Joe was a director of local independent films here in San Antonio. So
Badass.
automatically, I wanted to meet Joe and I wanted to find out what he was doing. And it just so happened that I've, you know, met other people that have worked indie productions here in town, and it just seemed like either they weren't receptive to, like, you know, chemistry I think is a big part of working with anyone. And
business in general.
Joe, you know, I found out I got to see Wake. I got to see all of his previous works, you know.
So he really gave me like 15 minutes of fame out of nowhere with a sit-down interview because he was QAing my calls, and I guess apparently I wasn't following certain procedures on certain phone calls at the call center. So he had to explain all that to me first. But then he went ahead and shared all this extra information.
yeah, I was like,
Tell
okay,
about
all
me. I was
bullshit
like,
aside. Yeah, all bullshit aside. Let's get to the goods here. You know what I'm saying? I heard,
Let me see your dick.
I heard you were working with independent film. You know, so yeah,
That's
so
fucking killer, man. Shit.
so basically he shows me the script, and on the script it's a 14-page, or was it 14 or 16
Original
pages?
14-page short film, off course.
And I'm a writer at heart, you know, before anything, before
sure.
music, before production,
Right.
before anything, I'm a writer. And so that's what I wanted to get my hands on. I saw, he showed me the script and it said off course, and I read it. It was 14 pages and I was automatically intrigued, you know. And I told him, like, man, we can expand on this shit like you would not believe.
Yes.
So that's exactly what we did, you know. Joe is really the mastermind behind Off Course, but I like to believe that, you know, I lent a hand at least in the expansion
right.
of the script to 16 pages to 93 pages, I believe.
93.
Damn, dude.
So from a
That's
short
damn.
film
Like
to a
final,
feature
it
length
was like a
film.
98.
And it's like jumped from 14
And then
to
it
16
became
to
like
93.
Joe had never filmed a feature length film, so this was
As a writer director, I'd never taken on a whole feature film by myself.
So it was like a
With the
whole,
cast and
this
crew.
was like
Yeah,
the first
like-
film that you like helmed and was able to just,
Yes,
yeah,
because
you know.
it's like I knew I had the goods enough. I had enough experience to that I had mastered script to screen. I could take a script, put it on screen,
Right.
and make minor adjustments if need be. get
And
the
I'll
best
tell you right
out.
now, Joe blew my mind, you know, because I already saw the potential of this guy. Like,
Well, he was gonna fire me, and I basically just had to suck him off real quick. Man. You know what I mean? Like, it was my job.
And then it's all
I had a plumbing problem. All right, I had a plumbing problem.
Back to the pipe lane.
But another funny little story about that is that he needed to print out these scripts that he had, once we expanded them, because
Once we had like the 98-page script.
he needed to print them all
Printing 98 pages.
out. Right now, mind you,
Multiple times.
Because it was the office building scene, and originally I wrote the office building scene where Kyle was going to be fighting like 5 or 6 henchmen.
Yeah.
We only ended up with 2, and then Johnny's character. But so needless to say, we printed out all the copies of the script.
and I get busted at work.
What?
By like HR, dude.
HR.
Like
Yes.
Joe gives me this flash drive at work, right? And he tells me like I need to print out like how many copies did you need?
Okay, How
many actors were
We
there?
were expecting about 10 actors.
Right.
That day.
Holy
So we needed
shit.
10 copies of this
Do the
98-page script, right? So he
1,000
hands me this flash drive, and so I say, well, fuck it. You know, so
Fucking stack.
I pop it into
Holy
the computer and I
shit,
start
dude.
printing it. And to be slick, I went ahead and printed it in a private printing office that we had at the time
Yeah.
that was exclusively for management. And I was a supervisor at the time, so I had access to it. So I start printing it out, right?
Inside guy.
Well, I think I'm slick and shit, and I walk into this office and I look and like there's this like ton of like
It's a stack.
a stack of like fucking shit, and then I see the HR man, like the HR lady is standing in there like. Actually, no, it was the guy who was best
guy.
friends with the HR lady. And
I hate
when
those
I walked
people.
in, he was already questioning like who the fuck is printing all this. And then when I walked in, he looks at me. He stops the printing, he grabs all the shit, and he just walks out real slowly.
Oh.
That's
So
that
I
moment.
thought I was
You the
fired. I mean, you know,
fucking guy!
now mind you, I was really good with the HR lady.
Yeah.
So immediately, I go to my desk and ring, ring. You know, I get a call at my desk, and it's Lou, and I go, "Hey, Lou." I was like, she goes, "Hey, Johnny, you wanna come to my office?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am." She goes, "Do you know what this is about?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have a good idea. You know what it's about." So I go into her office, and she's like, "Johnny, what's going on? You know, like,
Come on.
so and so told me that you were using company resources for personal use, and
Yeah.
you know that's not allowed. You know, what were you doing?" And I explained to her the whole situation. I was honest with her because I always was.
Right.
And so she just said, "You know what, Johnny, just buy me 4 reams of paper. You know,
sure,
buy me
yeah.
like six reams of paper. Bring it back. Promise me you'll never do it again. I'll talk to him and I'll tell him like I trust him. You know." And so
Yeah.
ultimately I got out of it.
Nice.
And I got to keep all the and then funny enough, they were asking us about it. Like, what is this? Like, they had read it. They had read the script.
The rest of the staff had
Yeah,
already
and they
grabbed
were asking me like,
copies.
"What is this?" And I was telling them, I was like, "Well, this is an independent film that I'm working on with an employee, and we're gonna start filming it."
Names
Like,
were spilled at that point.
so
and
then
everybody
they're
knew.
asking questions. You know, she's like, "Okay, well, when are y'all gonna start filming it? Where? You
Wow,
know,
where?
yeah."
When
so
is it gonna come out?
It became more like an inquiry as
Yeah.
opposed to like me getting chastised. So
And special shout out to Richard Rodriguez of San Antonio Technology
absolutely
Center.
man. We met him at a
Yes.
mixer at the San Antonio Film Slam
At
on
the
a
Brick.
whim.
Yeah, at the
On a
Lone Star
whim,
Brewery,
dude.
Blue Star Brewery.
So if anything,
Brick.
I think that Joe really kind of opened the doors for me when it came to video production because, like I said, I'd always been a part of backing it, but never seen it actually come down. And like when me and him started working on this film, my dream came true of actually watching a film get filmed. You know what I'm saying? Like watching the whole behind the scenes, the whole process of it.
Well, in a way,
Dude,
you
Johnny
kind of
was there
helped each
from-
other, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He was
Yeah.
there all the way, dude. All the way with
like,
Isaac and Kyle.
I mean, y'all
Beth
came
and
together
Josh.
to make some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Almost,
And it
like
worked. I mean-
me and you.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
And that's the beautiful thing. So now, shoot, what was I gonna say? So now going forward, Tony, how did we meet? Like,
Well, I was
That's
working-
actually a question I really, really want to know.
Oh, really?
hey, keep it in your pants. Keep it in your pants.
All right, I'm sorry. Hey, down.
All right,
listen.
Well, I was actually working on a film with some other script writer. His name is Eric Lopez.
Yeah,
and he was
shout
working
out.
on a film. Yeah, shout out to Eric.
Eric Lopez.
Absolutely.
He was working on a film, and he called it "Soothing the Savage Beat."
Look out for it.
And yeah, it's a very futuristic film, so automatically I was in. I mean,
yeah.
anything with the future, it's all about me.
Sci-fi, post-apocalyptic.
So it's post-apocalyptic, but not in the sense of like nuclear war and all that shit.
Okay.
But like in famine, just society breaking down and shit,
Right.
And at this point in time, the world is kind of like not owned, but like run by a king. And what's it called? So it's pretty broken down, and the government pretty much gives you drugs, entertainment,
Housing,
work, food, like everything. Like, I mean, you gotta do shit. All you gotta do is work, and they give you everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then all these cities are surrounded by
It's
walls
provided
to
for you.
protect you. Yeah. So, I mean, it gets pretty intense, man. And it's about music in a way, believe it or not. I know it sounds
Yes.
crazy, but it's deeply
Sure.
about music, man. So.
Oh, yeah.
I'll leave some details later, but maybe we'll include some of the stuff that we've done.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
when I
Well, go
when I
ahead.
thought about when it's the title when it had beats, in it,
Yeah.
I was like that. Okay, I'm gonna see what. It is.
So
And there's some underlining things. What I appreciate about Eric is like the things that he also is like in a way he's projecting like a possible future that may happen where nobody lives past the age of 30 or 35.
And it's not that
35, yeah.
unrealistic,
35
actually.
years
You
old.
know what I'm saying? Like,
So society is pretty dumbified because no one lives past 35.
And and they do have society is kind of dumbified, like you said, because there's only one type of music at that time, and that's like what everybody listens to. It's just some mindless bullshit.
and that is a mind blowing concept in itself.
And like
you know what I'm
people
saying?
at that time also like they don't know like the music that we know today, or like any of the classical music or anything like from present back. These people don't know anything about it. Doesn't know it exists,
It's
dude.
been
You know what I'm
raped
saying?
from them. They wouldn't even know what a guitar or a drum set
So
was
even
when they saw it.
instruments.
Yeah, so
Yes.
barely even
Holy
instruments.
shit.
So I mean, they're like very basic. You know what I'm saying? So I was working on this film, right? We're casting people
At Alamo Studios.
at Alamo
Shout out.
City Studios, right?
Alamo City Studios.
Alamo City Studios downtown, and we're casting all these people, right? And we had run into this producer.
You were there.
I was there for
You were
that.
there.
Yeah, you were one of you.
Fucking
You were one
A.
of the guys on there. But we had been talking to this producer.
Oh,
We'll
goodness.
probably leave her name out of it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
But she was trying to fuck us over in a way. But every once in a while, I would hear this name floating around. Joe Salinas. It was like, oh, Joe Salinas. It's like, and I would hear it everywhere, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
Like, I thought it was like some big dude, like in fucking, Hollywood or some shit, like
Hey.
doing some shit, right? Like,
Oh, shit.
everybody made it seem like it's just some dude, like, or maybe he was like a connection here in San Antonio to Hollywood, like, that's how
Right.
they made it seem, That's how like everybody talking was like, oh yeah, Joe Salinas. It's like, okay, like so.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, and then like we're doing the what's it called?
So this is how you met Tony, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy
That was
shit,
so
okay.
nice.
So
Crazy.
I was setting up my camera, and it's a little audition area, and he was one of the auditionees, right? And then we finally get his name. Is it's Joe Salinas. I was like, oh wait, you're him, man.
Right?
And I'm like, yeah, I'm the
You're
guy.
right. You're not that intimidating. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so
He
like
got a little dick.
yeah, so like we gave him the thing. He did one of the best jobs out of the people, and then we talked to him later on. I got to talk to him later on, and then we started talking about like what he did and then what I did, and it's like, wait a minute, it's like pretty cool. It's like you want to do some shit.
Yeah, we're on the same
Absolutely.
So
page.
it's like like we had a lot of good ideas, so we just kind of started doing shit, and like here we are.
That's like Method Man.
Podcast
That's
and
like
some
Method
movies
Man and
later.
Redman and How High. It's all like got weed,
Right.
got a blunt. All right, get in the car.
So yeah, man, shit. I mean, it's been cool ever since.
Absolutely. Wow, that's fucking cool too. You know what I mean?
No, and I remember
That's
that
amazing.
audition. You and I, me, you, and Russ, we all got ready. You and I, even more so. We got ready. We dressed the part. We already came in character, in costume.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do remember Johnny, man. You were fucking hitting it, man.
I tried to nail like that audition, and
Dude.
I don't know. I ended up not even doing the production. I remember, like, I didn't get to
Oh.
actually film it, but
What had
I did the
happened?
audition, but I didn't get to actually film it. I remember
Oh, that's right. That's right. They
But-
auditioned you. They liked it.
they
But
wanted
then
me
it's-
there, but
but-
I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just couldn't make it or
Oh, afterwards.
What happened?
Oh, that was the grayer thing that was happening. There were gray areas. I'll just say that. And
Gray.
there were gray areas that complicated the production, and I basically had to find out more information on Eric and how much know-how he had behind filmmaking, because I wasn't trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I had already had so much experience with video production. I knew I could smell bullshitters a mile away.
Right.
And when he started to explain to me what this lady was doing to his production and how she was flipping the script and wanting to fire Tony, she wanted to
Eventually,
fire Tony.
man.
I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is wrong with you?
And I was the production team.
Okay,
Basic-
that's.
yeah,
I was
you
the whole
were-
production
I
company behind
I remember her mentioning all that. You know, I don't think I had met you then. Honestly, I don't think I had met you yet.
Nah, I think he just we had met him and he was like, yeah, I had a friend, Johnny, and some other dudes that they were gonna come by. So
Right.
it was like, yeah, I'm gonna call them up.
I remember
as
her
backups.
mentioning you though, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact.
I'm gonna fire the main
listen.
thing that's gonna get me put me on the
unmentionable.
map.
Right.
Good luck.
So that was crazy, man. She wanted to fire the entire fucking production team on that shit.
Yeah.
And she was talking about filming a skills commercial or some shit. I remember.
Yeah,
like,
she was
Yeah,
basically
she's-
just taking over the production with no fucking permission and just claiming it like she's the executive producer of the shit.
Right.
But she wasn't getting anything done. She's like,
She
"Oh,
wasn't
we're
putting
canceling.
she
We're
wasn't putting
canceling."
any money, and she was making Eric pay for the entire shit.
Yeah.
What? Oh no.
Wait, you're the
And then-
producer. What are you producing?
And then she was
motherfucker?
talking about,
Oh,
oh
shit.
yeah, we're gonna fucking get all these fucking trucks with like the gear, like a gaffer's truck and shit, and we get
What
all this
the
fucking
hell?
gear and all this shit. And who's gonna pay for that?
It's stupid.
Eric.
wow.
Stupid.
Yeah, and you know she was a
going about it
producer,
the
all right. The
wrong
producer
way.
of bullshit.
Yeah.
Check this out. I will quote.
You can't claim to be a producer if you're not going to produce anything yourself or
Yeah.
help
Exactly.
someone who's trying to create something.
Except
Create it.
canceling.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the whole purpose of a producer.
Yes.
Like,
I will
I mean,
quote
you're not-
Robert Rodriguez. I'll quote Robert Rodriguez, who said that you don't. If you think that you need money, you don't need money to make a movie. If you think
No,
you
you don't.
need money to make a movie, then you're already going to start losing.
Yeah.
Assuming that you have to pay for this or pay for that, before you know it, you're going broke and this and that, and you don't
Right.
have anything.
Yeah.
Instead of conserving what you need, finding out where you can get areas of free,
Hustle your way around.
Right.
man.
hustle your way. It's,
and you
it's
know,
a technique
of
to it,
course,
you know?
is a standing testament to that too, because we had no money. I mean, the production value that I did for it was, the best that I could do.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I
dude, definitely.
all I had was like a couple of credit cards with like $5,000 on each one, and I told Joe, I want a production credit. Like that will help me. And what so far I've just backed productions. This would solidify
Yeah.
a credit, as a producer. And so I had explained that to Joe. I remember when we first talked about it. I had told him what I had done on Twitter, and that I was very interested in helping him, produce this major motion picture, that he wanted to work on. That we had worked on expanding the script and everything. And after that, it just started from there. He started doing it, and literally, like, Joe is a whirlwind of a director. I can tell you right now.
For
man.
sure,
That's
man.
my just so you know, man. That's my older brother over there. I
He
gotta
makes
let y'all
things out of
know.
nothing, dude. Like honestly, and I mean, I don't mean to like
Appreciate that,
kiss
man.
your ass or nothing, but honestly, like
Hey.
Joe, like really blew my mind, because not only did I get to experience a production from behind the scenes, I became a part of the production. He put me into the production as an actor, which I had only previously done very minimally. In college, I did one independent film, and it was very minimal. I had never really acted.
Cool.
So.
But you had the look. That's what helped.
I mean, I just think that I got to witness, Joe's talent, and I realized right away that this guy's going somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
man.
Like, and he's dedicated. He was actually receptive to my like
For sure, yeah.
input on it.
Yeah,
And
man.
previously, that's the reason why I never worked with people, was because
Right.
they just weren't receptive. I could just tell, like,
Yeah, there's a lot of people that like to have the carry titles that they're this and they're that. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm a
man. Try to
producer.
run shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you ask them, well, what do you got to show? And then they ain't got shit.
Yeah.
They don't have anything
Right.
to show, or they actually don't even know what they're talking about.
It's more than likely every time they don't know what they're talking about or what they're doing.
They're just talking out their ass.
Exactly. And I've seen so many other fellow friends of mine that I was helping out with productions and this and that fail so many times. And almost every single time it was somebody that lost their shit, let their ego just fucking take over completely,
Yep.
and let their attitude run the game, and basically spoil the atmosphere of everybody working together on this.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
filmmaking is all a team, dude. You can't make films without a team.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So
Like-
I cannot take the credit. What I am fortunate and blessed to have been able to have done was that somehow I was put on this path, because I started this production when I was still living with my dad, working at like Goodwill, going nowhere in life.
Crazy, man.
Right.
And networking with all the right people, paying a lot out of pocket, and that's where Johnny was the fucking Johnny on the spot. Like we would get
Quite
together,
literally.
we'd meet up, we'd go have breakfast at Jim's. He'd have his laptop with me, I'd have the script with me. We'd be discussing the next
What was
plan
gonna
of
happen,
action, the next
right.
few months, planning.
How
like
are we
3
gonna
or 4
make it
months.
work? You know, just and then like to me, it was the first time I thought, okay, yeah, this is serious now. Like I'm actually gonna help him produce this film. You know, so catering, makeup, you know,
Fucking
equipment,
props behind the scenes, props. That
yeah,
we needed.
you know,
We bought like, what was it like? We bought like 10 black lights,
Yeah.
huge black lights from Spencer's and the mall, Ingram Park Mall at
Yeah.
Spencer's. We bought 10 black lights. Was like, I think it was like 100. It was like $180 or something crazy amount. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty like righteous for what it was worth. But we used it for the party scene in the film when the band Collective Dreams was playing.
at Evergreen.
At
yeah,
Evergreen.
That
So
house on
Evergreen, Evergreen is a legendary place.
Absolutely.
I am so glad that our film, Off Course,
Was able to
was
film
able-
there.
yes, we were able to film at Evergreen with all these collective artists together, united under one spot for a final production, and probably the last time they had a house party show.
Right.
There with the bands, because they would have numerous bands going through. Dude, they had Portugal the Man go through there. They've had some big bands go through Evergreen. The St. Mary's Strip owners, all the bar owners on the St. Mary's Strip,
Yeah.
hated my friend Dan,
Right.
who owned
Dan the
Evergreen.
Man?
Dan the
Like
Man.
that?
Yeah, and his roommate was
What?
Josh, and Dan,
Josh the Gosh?
Josh the Gosh.
Josh
Now,
the Gosh.
Josh Vera was my field audio guy,
Mm-hmm.
and Beth, of course, she was my director of photography, and they were a team and a happy couple. But Josh, at that time at Evergreen, was living in that same house with Dan, and they were the ones running Evergreen. And the place went belly up after a while. They were having show after show. It got ridiculous. Hell, the pizza guy from the bar would go to the house and sell pizzas. Like that's how much
What the fuck?
they were taking
Wow.
business from the St. Mary's Strip bar owners, and the bar owners hated Dan. They wanted to damn near kill him because he was taking all their business. Everybody, well, fuck it, let's go to the house party and just buy some beer. Shit.
And eat some pizza.
All right, well,
And
see,
eat some pizza, yeah.
well, see, we need to do that.
Right.
Watch out for the random insanity house parties
Oh,
taking over St. Mary's
yeah.
Strip.
But hell yeah. And
We should really make that a live thing. Do some like when we get on YouTube and shit. Do a live YouTube shit, massive party somewhere.
Absolutely.
Take fucking business.
totally.
That way we can really
Hey, maybe
go to every bar. Take everybody. Be like, hey, every party over here.
I don't know, maybe
Empty
some,
out the fucking strip. How about
maybe
that?
some out there, music might play. I don't
Absolutely,
know.
Let's break the
give
internet.
you a run for the money.
Let's break San Antonio. Let's break the strip.
And guess what? It won't even be a house. We'll just be rooftop, parking garage, downtown. Fuck the bullshit.
Little
Fuck the security. He'll be overloaded.
Well, we can't arrest them all.
Be like, look, man, we'll just give you some fucking drugs and some booze and just let us party.
Call it
look like
All
you
right,
want some weed,
obscurity.
man. I got an 8 for you with your name on it.
You can be a real security and not let the cops in, but let all the party people in.
Exclusive only.
Keep the cops out. Let the party people in.
Is there a party going on here? Don't know what you're talking about. I secure this place.
Party people. Oh yeah. So Johnny, here's another question for you.
Okay.
Okay, so what was your favorite part of making the production?
Favorite part of making the production? I guess it was the writing aspect of it. Like I said, I'm a writer at heart, so writing the scripts, watching the scripts, watching it expand, become greater, with a collective effort, of everyone involved. I've always enjoyed that, writing and fleshing out scenes and things of that nature. So I guess my favorite part of the production was writing, writing out that script. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I think watching it be filmed, actually, because to me, I think we had discussed this before, like, to me, it was like, when an artist, or a musician makes music and records it, when an artist actually paints something and it becomes a portrait.
Reality.
You know what I'm saying? Like when a filmmaker gets a script and turns it into a film. To me, that's like people say dreams don't come true, but it's like
that's a dream.
That's a dream that comes true, and you watch it.
I know what you mean, man. Because when I'm an artist, as you can see on my walls. Like when I mean, from the first line, I'm already seeing the final product. But actually, I'm drawing it out. But like, I want to see the final product. You know?
Absolutely,
yeah.
what I'm saying.
It's like fuck yeah, dude. Like I'm inspired to just keep going and see the final product.
Absolutely, and and those are dreams that are manifested into reality. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
to me, that's a dream come true.
Like for instance, this one song called "Funk Feeling." Tony had sent me the beat along, to write to along with other beats. Mm-hmm. And like with these two guys, man, I grew like so much in an artist world.
Absolutely.
And
both very talented
but
gentlemen.
the funk feeling beat, it had like this guitar, and like I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, I gotta turn this shit off because it's saying something to me, and I'm not about to just write anything. No, that melody that is playing, and I'm like, and it took me about like a month and a half, man. And I wrote all to the other songs like quick, but every time circle back to this one, I'm like, shit.
That's right, because I make those songs that are timeless. So
I was like, damn. And I came to the studio, and then I was talking about it. He's like, yo, man, so what do you got for this one? I was like, to be honest with you, I don't know what the fuck that guitar is saying to me, man, but it's saying something. It's saying something, but I don't know. He's like, you can talk about a feeling. And I was like, well, it is a feeling. And he's like, well, like, what about a good feeling? And I was like, no. I was like, you hear it like, dun, 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 dun,
it's funky as shit.
I was like, it's funky. And then he's like, funk feeling. And I was like, yes.
Boom.
Yes. And that came out because when you listen to it, got that funk feeling.
Oh, shit.
Dun, 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 dun. You got to get down. Got that funk feeling. So get down.
I'm
right
already
now.
digging it. Yeah,
tell.
maybe
Like, maybe we'll throw in a little sample in there so you guys can see what we're listening to here.
But that's and just working with them in the studio, and I'm listening to like, because I'm insecure about my voice and how I go about things.
For sure, man.
Everybody do their own worst
But when I listen to Cake, I listen to Too Much, Walk, and I'm like, oh, like that's me on there, man. Like,
short. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm like, damn. And I'm listening back, and I'm like, oh shit, no shit, that was my ad lib. Oh shit, all right,
Yeah.
So
man.
it's just thinking that if you think that dreams can't come true, then like your tunnel vision right there.
Absolutely.
Because all you got to do is do it, man.
Right.
Nothing is holding you back other than yourself.
And you have the talent, but if you
don't
degrade yourself,
if you allow the doubt to kind of
take over,
right,
you will be stuck in a rut forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll never move forward.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and for the people that didn't know, I think it was last week, right, when we introduced that one song, or was it the week before?
Which one?
That one song, my song.
Oh, the week before, yes.
Yeah, man. Well,
last week.
to everybody, that was me. That was
Yeah.
probably back in 010 maybe.
Okay.
Back when I had a tall T in Air Forces.
it was quite a while back, man. Like somebody had come to the studio. They were recording some shit, and they had left some beats behind. I typically don't like to use beats like that, but for some reason that beat just spoke to me, and I kind of just wrote that one verse, and that was it. It was like,
history from
that's
there,
just
yeah.
what I had to say, and I just
Yeah.
left it on the table. So, and that was actually supposed to be the first song on an album that I was supposed to release back in 2008
Wow.
with my homie that I lived with, man.
Jeez.
Very amazing artist, man. OXG.
OXG.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I need to show you that, man.
I heard-
Oh man,
I
that
heard
cat,
that. I
that
heard
cat is
that.
dope.
Would love to hear it.
We'll pop in one a little OXG.
Yeah, we'll
in
put
there
some of
so
that
you guys
so you can
and-
check it out.
And Tony over here is the inventor and going to be working with other artists with the flow.
Hey, man, don't put that out, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I ain't got no time.
What's that? What are you talking about? I have no idea
him in
what
the
you
knees.
said.
Hook him over. I'll be right back.
Can somebody hand me a gun?
Oh shit.
What is it? What is the sound that the AK makes? It's like Michael Jackson.
So, anyways, after that funeral, yeah, there's less people in here, huh? It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, at first, it's like one monkey fell off the bed. And it's like, damn.
But, oh well.
We bring that back. Yeah. Fuck the shit for 37 seconds, bitches. Biatch. You know what be. Your boy O to the X. Sipping that on off. Oh yeah. One time for your mouth, one time. Yo, whatever. One time for your mouth, one time. Yo, whatever. One time for your mouth, one time. Yo, whatever. All it takes, one time to die. Shots blast, oh man, I gotta get away. Dash before I end up being dead today. I saw a bullet strike one in the gut. Nothing I could do about it. Had no gat to bust. I just went in for a moment to purchase some drugs, and now I never might come out to see the shining sun. Damn, this one goes out to my mother. In case I never get to hug you again, I love ya. All the thoughts start coming ahead a lot clear about the life I live. Positive or negative, which one will I choose? It's so hard to pick when I sing and spit about how much I use and abuse this shit. Time's running out like a fuse. There's nothing I can do. All I got is just one time for your mouth, one time. Yo, whatever. When the score time and nearly died. How these change in a matter of time. All it takes, one time to die. One time for your mouth, one time. Yo, whatever. Went to score time and nearly died. How these change in a matter of time. All it takes, one time to die. Flashback, I'm chillin' out with a fat blunt in my mouth. Kick back with my nigga bone. Never leave that mic alone. Beat fast, it's that one chance. Last dance, get it right. It's your heart beating fast. I won't let this be my last night. This is fucking war. Nigga, what you take me for? A fiend for the cream, nigga, I'm much more. Click, click, I hear that your shit jam. Slick bitch, you better get slammed. Oh my lord, how the tables have turned. Punk bitch, be prepared to get your ego burned. Tossed by the boss, thought your chrome gloss. Now go your loss, it's a hard one to swallow. Fuck with me, son, and you'll see no tomorrow. No sorrow, man, I'm a hard one to follow. So now I'm leaving here with more than I came for. Crew intentions of a criminal, and all it took was one time for your mouth, one time. Yo, whatever. One time for your mouth, one time. Yo, whatever. One time for your mouth, one time. Yo, whatever. One time for your mouth, one time. Yo, whatever. One time for your mouth, one time. Yo, whatever. All it takes, one time to die. Die, mother.